As mentioned in previous tutorials, the Reloop RP-8000 MK2 turntable allows you to perform melodic compositions with up to 22 different scales. On top of that, it's even possible to program and save up to 10 custom scales of your own. This is particularly useful when you only need specific notes for a performance and nothing else, or if one of the preset scales isn't suitable for the melody that you want to play. To access a custom scale bank, simply cycle through the preset scales using either of the pitch percentage buttons until you reach the section shown on the display as user. Here we have 10 available banks from user 0 all the way up to user 9. Today, let's create a custom scale in user 0. All empty banks show a blank pad section with the first pad being white to indicate the root note position, which as mentioned previously is the note and the pad that will play the turntable at its default 0% pitch. From here, you're able to assign notes of your choice to any of the custom pads, which can be accessed in full by turning the navigation encoder, which as you can see provides you with 7 available pads either side of the root note pad, giving you a total of 15 custom pads at your disposal. So before creating a custom scale, the first pad we always need to establish is the root note pad, which should always match the actual notes of the sample we intend to use on the turntable. So for example, if you have a violin tone in the note of A loaded to the deck, you may want to assign the root note pad with the note A4. We do this by pressing and holding the pad whilst turning the navigation encoder to select A4. Once the root note is established, you can then assign any of the other available notes to any of the remaining empty pads using the same process, which as you can see changes the color of the pad to match whatever octave the note belongs to. These custom scales can be changed at any time, and you can also unassign the pads by holding your fingers on them and turning the navigation encoder all the way anti-clockwise to restore them to blank pads. So to demonstrate a custom scale in use, I'm going to take you through how I came up with a Platter Play performance of the track All of the Lights by Kanye West. The first thing I did was research the notes contained in the melody, which is something you can do easily by yourself by searching for tutorials of how to play particular songs in YouTube or Google. Having found a piano tutorial for All of the Lights in YouTube, I was able to discover the notes that make up this melody, which in sequential order are C, D sharp, F, G, G sharp, and A sharp. As the first note of the melody is C, I've loaded the sample Happy Horn from my Platter Play soundpack, which is also in the note of C. I've loaded this to my right turntable. Finally, we need the root note of the turntable to match with the sample. So let's assign the root note pad with the note C4. To finish my custom scale, I'm going to assign the rest of the notes I need to the other pads in the same order in which they would appear on a piano roll. This is something I do out of preference so that the pad layout feels the most authentic to how I would play it on a piano. You can of course arrange your notes wherever and in whatever order you like within your custom scales. So the first note, as I said, is C, and that's going to be our root note. The second note is a D sharp. Let's set that to D sharp 4. The third note is an F. Let's go for F4. The fourth note is a G. So we'll take G4. The fifth note is G sharp. Let's take the G sharp 4. And finally, the last note is an A sharp. So we'll take A sharp 4. So now I've created my own custom scale, which contains only the notes I need in order to play All of the Lights. Whenever you program a custom scale, you'll be able to access it at any time alongside the rest of the preset scales. And the great thing about custom scales is that they are saved to the memory of your RP-8000 Mark II, even when it's powered off. So to end this tutorial, here's a quick example of how this custom scale could be used as a transition or to introduce the actual song. But remember, the possibilities of how you want to use this instrument and express yourself musically are endless. It's all about your ideas and your creativity. Let's go.